So we can all think of a time when we got into it with one of our friends. They said something, we did something, and there was a big problem. And you know what? That's normal. Having conflict, getting into an argument, getting into a disagreement is just part of friendship. In fact, the longer that you're around somebody, the more of a chance for conflict there is. But it's when you have these disagreements, it's when you have these conflicts that you've got to be really careful to make the right decisions so that you keep that friendship. So how do you do it? How do you keep a friend even when there's a problem? In the book of Matthew, Jesus said, "Blessed are the peacemakers." You and I are supposed to be peacemakers. But what's a peacemaker? Some people would think that a peacemaker is like a hippie, you know, like, hey, peace and love, man. But that's not it. Some people would think that a peacemaker is somebody that avoids all problems, that things are going wrong all around them, but they pretend like those problems don't exist. That's not a peacemaker. A peacemaker is somebody that sees a problem and they purpose to go out and fix that problem. In fact, a peacemaker is a lot like a firefighter. When there's a firefighter does everything they can to make that fire go away. And that's what you and I are supposed to do. When there's a conflict, it's our job to be peacemakers, like a firefighter, and go and put out that problem. So I'm here at an actual firehouse with a real life firefighter. Firefighter Tim, thanks so much for being here. I appreciate it.
My pleasure, Andrew.
So I got a few questions for you. The first one is, when there's an emergency, somebody calls 911, what do you guys do?
So we're going to run out to our trucks. We're going to start putting our equipment on, our special bunker gear that helps us get through house fires.
Yeah.
We're going to go down the streets with our sirens and our lights going. We're going to pull up. We're going to see if the house is on fire. We're going to pull some hoses off.
Yeah.
We're going to walk around the house, and then we're going to determine if there's a rescue, if we're going to go in and start attacking the fire with our water.
Yeah.
Or just what we're going to do from there.
So if there's like somebody in the house, then you actually go in there to like rescue them?
That's correct. We'll have to go inside and locate them and get them out alive.
Wow, and then you put out the fire after that?
Yeah.
Wow, okay, that's great. Okay, so how is it that most fires start? Is it like an explosion or crazy guy with a flamethrower?
They usually start pretty small. Cigarette, a smoldering wire, a spark, something like that. And they just kind of smolder for a while, then they can get bigger and bigger, and they can get really out of hand.
Okay, so typically it starts out really small then.
Yeah.
And then it grows a little bit bigger. How would a small fire get big?
Ignoring it, not taking care of it.
Yeah.
It could be something as simple as stepping on it with your shoe or with a garden hose before it does a lot of damage.
Yeah, and that would help put it out. Okay, so if you had to choose, like when you were to put a fire out, when would that be? What's the best time to put out a fire?
It's definitely as soon as you can. When that spark first happens, or when that match is on the ground, put it out.
Sooner the better.
Always.
That's awesome. Firefighter Tim, thanks so much. I appreciate it. So now we know what it looks like to put out a fire. And actually dealing with conflict is a lot like putting out a fire. Let's say that you did something to your friend, you made them mad, or they're mad at you. There's conflict. When conflict happens, it's like a match is being lit. It's like there's a little fire on top of your friendship. And at first it's just a little problem, but like a little fire can grow into a big fire, that little problem can grow into a really big problem if it's not taken care of. And what a lot of people do when there's a problem is they pretend like nothing happened, that everything's okay. They're still mad at their friend, but they don't want to bring it up because they don't want it to be awkward. That's like ignoring a small fire. What's going to happen? That fire is going to grow bigger. That problem is just going to keep getting larger. Other people, they talk about their problem, but not to the right person. Instead of going to their friend and trying to work it out, they go to their other friends and they talk about the problem, or they talk bad about their other friend. This is like taking a can of gasoline and pouring it on that match. What's going to happen? The problem is going to get really, really big. Instead of ignoring the problem, and instead of talking to other people about the problem, we need to be peacemakers. It's like we need a fire extinguisher. This fire extinguisher is this one little question. How can we fix this? We've got to go to our friend and say, hey, there's a problem. I'm kind of upset at you. You're kind of upset at me. How can we fix this? This is what Abraham did with Lot. When there was an issue, when there was a problem, he said, hey, Lot, how can we fix this? We've got to do the exact same thing. So let's do this. Let's practice asking this question. You ready? How can we fix this? Say it again. Say it with me. How can we fix this? One more time. How can we fix this? Your team captains are coming by, and we're going to run you through a few scenarios to figure out how we can fix problems.